Hey, Scratchy Babes, welcome back to the Scratcher Girls ASMR and More channel. And we hope that this video is finding you in good spirits. We hope that you are practicing self-care as we often promote. So we're going to get into this scratch with Scratcher Girl Passion and our guest here now. I wasn't present when this guest visited our studio, so I'm not sure of his background. You know, I usually like to ask where people are from and, their background. So I wasn't present for that, and unfortunately, Scratcher Girl Passion isn't the talker or the talkative one in the bunch, so yeah, but anyway, she's doing her head works, her scalp works, which of course we always do a scalp check prior to servicing our guests, just for everyone's safety. We never know what may be going on up there, so we just have to do a quick check, not to offend anyone. It's just a matter of professionalism. So let me tell you, this scalp scratch is everything. Talk about tingles galore. Tingles galore. And so a really fun fact, you'd be surprised at how many people are self-conscious about when we do the scalp check. You know, most of them are confident that everything is healthy up there, but most of them are concerned with their dandruff or what they think or assume is dandruff. So that's really funny. They always go, well, I'm all good. Well, I may have some dandruff there. But to be honest, I may have only seen 1 or 2 cases of dandruff, and I'm talking dandruff that is even worth mentioning. So calm down, guys. It's okay. No need to be self-conscious. You're okay. You're just fine. And I appreciate you guys, acknowledging the fact that, you see different body types in our content. We don't discriminate. The Scratcher Girls loves everyone. We don't discriminate. Everyone is important and hold just as much value as the next person for all of us. So, yeah. The arms are always good. Going up and down the arms, back across the shoulders, the neck. I mean, those are all good areas if you want tingles galore. And the funny thing about me, guys, I am not an ASMR fan or a fan of the scratch on in regards to visual. I'm more of a hands-on person. I get my payoff by actually scratching the back or actually rendering the service. That's where I get my payoff, because the whole entire energy in the room just kind of sends me into a relaxation trance, if you will. And so I'm just really concentrating on what I'm doing, and also concentrating, on the Zen part of the service. So yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, I got thrown off for a minute. But I was saying that, but now I see where you guys are coming from. I sat and watched a video through its entirety, during the editing process, but I really watched the video, and oh my gosh, I got sucked in, guys. it really, really is satisfying to watch this. Like, and I'm talking when I watched it, it was silent. There was no lo-fi or any music or voiceover. It was just silent. Because as I mentioned, I was editing the content. But like watching this now as I'm doing your voiceover, tingles galore, tingles everywhere. And I know this guy feels amazing. I know that he feels amazing. So yeah, generally guys, when we have a session involving gentlemen, our younger scratcher girls are trying to, still trying to get used to, crossing over into the other gender, so it's okay. So we usually, in times where scratcher girls, when we do enlist different scratcher girls, we haven't hired any more as of yet because we have some projects coming up, and we're going to need them for those projects. But anyways, a lot of them, if they feel uncomfortable with any one guest, or they feel uncomfortable servicing any one guest, we usually offer, support. So there may be, 2 scratcher girls in the room present. So it really just kind of depends on, their level of comfort, because of course, along with our clients' comfort level, our scratcher girls' comfort level is just as important. So I just thought that really funny, just to kind of show the difference between the younger women and the more mature, seasoned women. It's just a funny thing to see and observe. So those of you guys who celebrate this time of year, have you done all of your shopping and completed your Christmas list? Have you assembled your Christmas Day menu? Like, what do you guys have going on? Are you like myself? Every year, I can't recall a year where I planned my gift giving, my shopping. I plan nothing. I'm more of a spontaneous individual. I think not being a planner is one of my character flaws. But somehow it all seems to work out in the end for me. But I have to trade that in for a heap of anxiety, which, as we know, isn't necessarily good for you. I would be one to say, actually, that there are some good anxieties and some bad anxieties. And I'm going to leave it there. If you guys want to talk about that, mention it in the comments, and we can make that the conversation for next time. But anyways, but yeah, I'm always so very late to the party. I'm always one of those ones scrambling around in traffic a day or two before the big day. So I'm not too much of an online shopper. I'm still one of those old schools where I have to see it, touch it, feel it, smell it, whatever the case. I'm one of those shoppers. So there aren't very many things that I will shop for online. Fragrances, I will, because if I'm familiar with the fragrance, then I know it's okay to purchase it online. But if it's a fragrance where I'm not too sure of, then I definitely have to be in the store in person to smell it and let it dry down, and go back to it in a couple of hours and see what it's smelling like. So it's a whole process for me. But clothing and certain other things, I have not graduated to shopping online. I know that, a lot of companies make the return process simple and all of that, but I just don't like the process. The Home Shopping Network, when they were out, everything looked so amazing. All of the lighting made everything look so extravagant and luxurious, but it still wasn't enough to make me want to shop online. So those tricks didn't work on Mother Scratch. But anyways, so yeah, your holiday menu for those that are entertaining this holiday. Do you have an extravagant menu? What's usually on your menu for your Christmas feast? Like, what do you like to serve and cook and eat? I am a foodie, guys, so I usually used to make a traditional Christmas meal, what most Americans would put on their table, but I kind of gotten away from that, and just whatever, my family feels like eating, we'll cook it and we'll eat it. So, we don't do traditional so much anymore, as opposed to just what everyone's feeling in the moment. The previous holidays, I'm spending the couple days before prepping and chop slicing and dicing and marinating, sauteing, you name it. And it was enjoyable for a while, but I think as I got older, it was more of a hassle than anything. So not so much for Thanksgiving this year. I did cook a traditional Thanksgiving feast with the turkey and the candied yams and, the green beans and so on and so forth, which was really tasty. But I'm trying to pull away from that type of diet. If I indulge, it's maybe once or twice a year, simply because as I get older, every food does not agree with me, so I have to switch it up a little bit. So yeah, this is part 2 of the previously posted session. We just decided, because it was such a long session, to split it in 2 and do one voiceover and then the other with the original sounds in the background. So, I'm not really narrating the actual session too much, because unlike other ASMRs, we actually have techniques that we use. So every technique, is the same, going in, unless our guest requests something different, or unless we do some freestyle work. But, or unless we mix up the techniques. But usually, for the sake of time, we usually just keep the routine pretty much the same, because it absolutely carries us through the time, where we don't undercut the time and we don't, go over time. So it seems to work for us. So I figure, because at this point you guys you probably know the routine just as I do. So I figured this would be our time to just talk, to conversate, and then you can, talk to me in the comments and reply or talk about whatever it is that's on your mind in the comments. So, as I mentioned, we're family, so, just please feel free to reach out. Of course, try to keep them fairly short, of course, because I'd have to get to all of you guys, which I would love to get to all of you. I know as time progresses and opportunities come through for us, we won't quite engage the same, but I promise you that you won't be cheated of your experience at all. That's one thing that I'm really anal about. So, but anyways, guys, this was just a 15-minute break for us to have an excuse to chat and share energy. So we love you guys. Happy holidays.